have your winter coat on.
I think it's chilly out there. Look at it.
Nice though. You like that 90s stuff?
I do. Yeah.
How long is it in the front row?
Is you?
Yeah.
Yes. That's when you're late.
Kind of close.
Did you, was the fireworks supposed to go on here? The fireworks? Oh, you wanted to be on it? I'm so sorry. I will tell Rob. He can adjust. Huh?
Yeah, I got it from the water that I make some over there. Yeah. And then like. No, I thought you were. You were never. I about followed you up the stairs. So. Where do you want to put your the action item or old business? Like old business, right? Because you was there.
Yeah, that's all business. Yeah.
Never mind, I got a funny one for you.
All right.
I went by the laundromat today, but you weren't here. Most of the time I go.
Yeah.
Collins are asking for their vacationing up here this weekend and they wanted to make sure that 911 works. Still works. It'll be okay.
Well, it's good to call ahead though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very prepared.
Well, she was, she find anything?
I'm doing well. Let me print out some more and bring it out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But she was using less than
I have to do a public comment because he didn't forget to call ahead.
Are you, want to close the road or something?
Yeah.
No, we have to do an action item.
I didn't fill out the form.
Well, what, just coming out.
Clay's retirement, right?
You're closing Maple Street?
Yes,
When is it?
the 22nd.
So, let's see, July 22nd.
Next week.
Maple Street, from when to when?
He's just all day.
Any time.
He said 7 to 12.
I'm still in a rush, you know.
7 a.m.?
Yeah, we'll probably,
Oh, 7 a.m. to midnight.
yeah, just so we
Oh, I'm like,
can get
that's not much
cars
for
off
parking
the
for
street
the
now.
morning. 7 a.m.
Yeah, just so we can get the cars off the street.
Alright.
But we'll probably be done way before 12, just.
Okay, for cleanup and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll put it on the agenda, and then I'll turn it over to you, and then we'll have to vote on it. Seven o'clock, call the meeting to order, please. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Patton?
Here.
Ring?
Here.
Fox? Tyler?
Here.
Drake?
Here.
Shearhart?
Here.
Chapman?
Here.
Do you need a pen
Agenda.
and agenda?
Approval of the agenda, we have some late minute additions here. Council members, please turn your attention to number 10, old business. Letter C, Matt Gabris, DBA. Number 10, C, Matt Gabris, DBA, turning the page over. Number 12, action item. D, retirement party, I should say, Central Lake Tavern. Retirement party. Closing Maple Street, July 22nd, from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. And then we need to add that.
Just approving the event submit.
Approving the event permit, thank you.
Rob, after you said July 22nd, what was the rest of your sentence?
From 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. So approve, closing Maple Street from 7 a.m. to 12. Approving the permit. Thank you. That is all I have under additions.
Rob, I have that correspondence, I'll just mention it.
Okay, under correspondence
Yeah,
from
let's see, that would be
Brad Link.
from Brad Lynch.
All right. Any other additions to the agenda, July 12, 2023? I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda, July 12, 2023.
Second.
All right, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 5, approval of the minutes, June 14, 2023.
Move to approve the minutes.
All in favor of approving the minutes of June 14, 2023, say aye. Motion carries. Public comment, limited to 3 minutes, please. Dave?
Yeah, I feel that you guys haven't been paying attention to anything I've been saying about these things. The houses on Brook Street, the law clearly says that they should be, if they're within 200 feet of the sewer, they should be at the soonest reasonable date, hook up to it. It's been 35 years, you pay no attention to it, you don't pay any attention to me. And the house on Brook Street behind the Sonic building, I read you a part of the ordinance that says that you can't abate what's been assigned to her, and you do it anyway. I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that I don't think any of you are on, none of your homes are on the sewer, except for maybe the lady above Bachman's. I don't know how you have that arranged.
Mine's on sewer.
Well, no, I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know. As part of the water, I want to know if the village paid for a water bill in May, and why not? You think you're gonna put it off until you get meters? That's not fair either, because when I go in the winter, I pay an estimated bill. Evidently, I don't know whether you paid it or not, so I'm just asking. You guys sent me, well, one of you sent me an ordinance, a new ordinance for the water, stating that no free water to anybody, and I haven't seen that pass, and that's been a couple of months, and I wanna know why. I wanna know what, if the fire station is on the water, being billed for water. I know, the cemetery has water, I don't know whether they're on a well or hooked up, and are they paying? And I'd like to know, since you're not paying attention to me, I'd like to know if the village council's gonna pay back payments with 10% penalties for the last 6 years. I mean, you're gonna charge me 6 years if I don't pay on time. If you made a mistake, it doesn't mean that you're not gonna be treated equally to me. And I'd like to know the answer to these questions.
Ron, do you have an update?
I do, but I'm not gonna respond during public comment. I will respond, under correspondence.
That's fine.
I do have something here for you.
Okay.
Any other public comment?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, there he is. Hi, Roger.
Well, last month was so successful, I came back. The lady made the presentation on the different launch sites for the waterway.
Mm-hmm.
What a nice presentation that she made here. And she did mention cleanup of the launch sites. I wonder if you'd be interested in maybe having the thing going for the river areas during the lake, wherever the lake is, like where I live on it. The property owners pick up the trash that comes down and we get rid of it. But in the river, I noticed that sometimes plastic bags must have blown in there. And maybe, whenever the other people have their cleanup time in September, we could have a village cleanup of the waterway. I don't know, just an idea. And then lastly, I don't want to take up your time, but I think we need to have a little training of boaters. Legally, they should not be driving closer than fixed things in the water, like docks, rafts, and anchored boats. They're supposed to be 100 feet off. I don't think they're doing it maliciously. I think they just don't know that that's what the rules are in boating. So just bring that to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment. All right, thank you. Public comment is closed. Police report, Scott.
Hopefully everybody had a chance to read the report. Typical month. And I'll leave it open for questions if you have any. Questions? Great, thank you.
DPW report, John Schutz.
Yeah, you got the report, just a couple of highlights of a few things we did. Mostly good month, had one water repair, mainly June was all day-to-day maintenance stuff. No, we didn't tackle any big projects.
You installed the water fountain.
Yep. Few things for the community. Other than that, just mostly day-to-day stuff.
That looks really good. Thank you.
Right?
Let's see. Any questions for John? President's report. Last month's public comment, a homeowner, or I should say a citizen, had asked about whether or not the south side of Brook Street, abutting Knowles Creek, if they were on septic and not on village sewer. I have confirmed that they are on village sewer. I talked to the DPW supervisor, so that has been laid to rest. They are on village sewer, they are paying village taxes. That's all I have. Campground report, Ron and Shar.
Typical. People coming in, people living. Getting a lot of kudos on the sidewalk and the path that John put up from the lower part. Everybody's commenting on the bathrooms, the cleanest they've ever
Definitely.
ever seen and witnessed during their camping anywhere in Michigan. Whisper quiet for the most part during the 4th, other than one deal that we're gonna address, and that's it. Any questions? Shar, did you wanna say something?
Rob, can I say a couple things?
Most certainly can.
Okay, just a couple things. I talked to Ron and I talked to John. We're gonna get a bid from Arc Electric to replace the electrical pedestals in the bottom. We don't need new wiring, we just need new pedestals, and they've been bad for a long time. If we can get those done this fall, next spring, that park should be good for a number of years. The assistant manager position, Bryce and Michelle Hewitt, it's working out great. Ron and Shar have been able to go home a couple times back to Grand Rapids. Like our original position, we was hoping would be like that last year, but it wasn't, so I'm just glad that that's working out. Everything else we'll talk about towards the end of the agenda. Thank you.
All right, thank you. 7E, clerk report, Kelly Hines.
Yeah, so I wanted to thank the council for allowing me to go to the clerk conference. That's why I wasn't here at the last meeting. It was really great. The first couple days was more of a boot camp, just getting all the basics down. Then the rest of the conference, we had a bunch of breakout sessions where I really got to key into some things I was interested in, such as parliamentary procedure, a little bit more on a notary, because I just became that earlier this year. And also I got to have some face-to-face with a lot of other village clerks. Most of the clerks at the conference were township clerks and city clerks, and they have a completely different job than a village clerk. So it was really nice to get those connections and network a bit and really continuing my education. So thank you guys very much.
You're acting as the clerk treasurer,
Yes.
and that's a huge responsibility. Did you meet any other people that had both of the responsibilities at the same time?
I met about 2 other people. They were both village clerks.
Okay.
Yes.
The amount of information that you're expected to know is overwhelming, and I'm really glad that you were able to attend this conference and connect with other people, and also, learn the ropes, because it's a big learning time for you. So I'm glad you went. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ally. Let's see, correspondence. Let's see. We've got a letter to the village council. I just want to let you know that Ron was a great help to us, exclamation point. He helped with putting the boat in, then parked the truck for me. Then a nice call about when our reservation checkout time was. Thanks again to Ron, exclamation point. Only negative is allowing vehicles without trailers filling slots that are not for boat trailers. I think that no one cares about signs, but if they got towed, they would give a parking spot for the people with trailers. Let's see, thank you, Ralph Hines. There you go. Thanks again, Ron. We got a letter from the pickleball players.
We received a thank you card from about 12 pickleball players here. We bought a new bench for them last year, or last month, and John and the crew installed it, and they just love it.
That's very nice.
Well,
You got one too? I thought it was good.
Yeah, you're nice.
Ally told me I had to read it tonight. So that's what I did.
Let's see, we got an email from our engineer on the bridge, Brad Link. I'll set that one over to Mike. Take it away, Mike.
Yeah, I got the email from Brad Link, our bridge engineer, and I received it today. And if it goes through a thorough analysis of the weight capacities of the bridge, we want to have a discussion with Brad so we can understand it. So as far as I'm concerned, we'll just table anything in regards to the bridge for tonight.
All right, thank you. Number 9, approval of the bills totaling $417,811.61.
The big bill there is for the bridge. I signed the biggest check I've ever signed in my life a few weeks ago, so I'll make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
Second?
We're spending money, roll call please.
Patton,
Yes.
Ring,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yep.
Drake.
Yep.
Shearhart.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Thank you. All business, chamber update, April Syndicate.
All right, so I'm just gonna give you guys a quick update of all the events that went on in town. Some of these are chamber events, most of them are, but there's a few that were not hosted by the chamber, but I'm gonna give you the gist on those too. So we started out on July 3rd with our second annual cornhole tournament. There were 52 players, it's the biggest we've ever had. Steve Dennis, he hosted that for us. The chamber hosted a beer tent at that event. They raised almost $600 to put towards future events at the beer tent, and that was our profit, not the whole sales, so that worked out good. The boat parade had 51 boats plus jet skis. That's the biggest boat parade we've ever had in Central Lake, according to Mr. Thayer. The parade on the 4th had over 50 entries, 54, Matt? 54 entries, which is the biggest we've had in the last several years. I don't think it's the biggest ever, but the biggest we've had in the last few years for sure. So then we have our Tuesday night Eats and Beats. I hope you all know about that every Tuesday night. We had that on July 4th, and the Village of Central Lake sponsored the music along with the chamber, and we had the Beatles band there. We had over 600 people come through that night, listening to music and eating and hanging out, and so that was great. The big one here is the dinner auction. So for our fireworks fundraiser, our dinner auction grossed $9,028 minus our expenses, which was $2,896.24. We cleared $6,131.76 towards fireworks this year. It left an outstanding balance on our fireworks bill of $868.24, which the chamber absorbed and paid off to pay for the final amount of the fireworks. And I also wanted to mention that the Veterans Run on the morning of the 4th had 135 entries, which was more than they had last year too. That was the second annual, correct? Second annual Veterans.
Second annual.
Yep, second annual. So they had 100. So they had 135 runners in there, which was a pretty big deal. So all in all, everything was more numbers, more people, more promoted. Everything did better than it had in the past several years. That's all I got. The only issue we had, the only hiccup I saw at all in all of those events was the bathrooms at Thurston Park, but that's never ending. So that was kind of a little bit of an issue, but we got through it.
We did get one comment from the parades about the horses further back in the parade, so people didn't have to walk through them. But
Yeah. Yeah, usually they have scoopers that follow behind
Right,
them.
I was gonna say, they used to put the horses like first, and then there was a scooper clown that would come and take care of that, and,
that was the first,
yeah, we haven't had horses in a long time.
it was, the 9-year-old who wrote it was very adamant about getting her horse, what was his name, which company? But she was very happy that she was able to get it. So her and her grandma wrote to her. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
All right, again, thank you, April, for all your hard work on the 4th. It was a lot of fun downtown. Let's see, continuing on old business, B, extend the social district east on Old State Road, ending at the wooden day docks. Kip, can you enlighten us on that?
All right. A couple years ago, we did the social district and we just did the Main Street. I mentioned to Rob about maybe extending that down State Street to Bushton Road and then going south down from where we stopped on Main Street to Bradford Street over to include that area so that people could take drinks down to the waterfront and enjoy the waterfront. So, I just wanted to mention that and we'll.
Say the parameters again, I got you down, all the way, Old State Road, all the way to Rushton, and then what's the other, we need the next south, that'd be the north end of it.
Yes,
We need a south road.
yeah, Bradford Street.
Bradford, so the boat launch.
The boat launch road.
And then would they be walking down Lake Street by Thurston Park Pavilion?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be Lake Street just going into the campground.
Yes.
So they're not walking down Herrick.
Yeah, we can, I was thinking about doing Herrick, so
Okay, so Herrick,
and Brook Street.
They come up from the campground.
Yeah, they come up from the campground and go downtown, so.
So where the current social district is not really residential. There's not really, no, there's people that live in the apartments above the stores. Have we talked to any of the residents that would be impacted by, I just don't know how, it's harder, the bigger the social district is, the harder it is for us to control. And so I just wonder if we should look at those issues before we expand it.
Okay.
Because remember
Yeah.
because I think we had talked about it before and decided that keeping it confined to the downtown area would make it manageable and less likely to impact the people that live on those streets. I don't know, that's just.
Well, personally, I think that's too big of an area.
Okay.
I mean, with the shells that we're talking residential area now. That's,
Can you do a separate one, just from Lake Street to Rushton?
that's half of Maine, that's half of town.
Or we could just,
Did you have a request from somebody, or you just?
no, I'm just looking at, like, there's, people, they walk up from the campground.
Yeah.
And they go downtown, they hit the budgies,
Mammoth.
that kind of stuff, and tavern.
Yeah, I think that when we started that was the main reason, so they could go from Mammoth to the tavern, to the Pelican, kind of stay in that general area.
And it was also during the pandemic, when people had to be outside. I don't think I don't know, I think we should get more information.
Yeah, let's talk to.
Scott, what do you think?
That's the first I've heard of it right now. Which I'm kind of surprised because we have limited law enforcement, so if you're gonna make it more of an issue, yeah, I just would appreciate if somebody would have said something to me before.
First I heard about it.
Bring it up at the board meeting, so.
Well, it's just, it's under old business, that's why you brought it up to discuss, get not voting on it.
Right.
So it's a discussion.
No, I'm just saying if something's going to impact my job or my responsibilities, I think I would.
Absolutely.
Have some.
So we'll talk to Scott and some of the homeowners, we got one already sitting in the stands here. Any other questions for Kip regarding the expansion of the social district?
Thanks for remembering to bring that up, because I remember we had talked about, revisit it later, so thanks for remembering that and bringing it up.
All right, Matthew, EDA.
So I have two updates for council. One is regarding the discontinuation of the May 10th meeting. What we had, the gal from.
Rachel Crean.
Is it?
Is it the gal in the Bell Center?
No, this was Northern Lakes Alliance. She came in 2 months ago, and
Septic tank,
it was Jessica. Tax abatement.
tax abatement, yeah.
Yeah. So she came in, presented to the council on two possible avenues for tax abatement for downtown properties. And what that means is that there's a Part 210 option and a Part 255 option. And they're both, this is under state public act, but the Part 210 option would have to get approved by the county. Part 255 would be approved by you, council, or denied by the council. Both of them do a similar function. Is number one, we would designate an area downtown, and I am going to designate the already designated DDA border for the downtown. And what this does is it allows business owners, this is for commercial only, but business owners, either current or future, to upgrade their properties, either build a new building or upgrade their properties with an up to 12-year tax abatement or tax freeze on the property. If we go with the 210 option, which is the county option, it would be applicable for up to 100% of those increased assessed fees. And if we go to the 255 option, it's up to 50% of that. So if I have a $100,000 property and I built another story or expanded it, it was now worth $200,000 with option 210 for the next up to 12 years. I would pay on that $100,000 worth of value. If we did the other option 255, which would be third choice, I would pay up to $150,000 even though the value was worth $200,000. So what it does is it encourages downtown commercial business owners to either build new or upgrade their properties to fix it up. Now, it does not do anything for school taxes or anything that all would go up accordingly respectively. It's just for the property tax,
And that would be it wouldn't affect township taxes, just village tax.
just village taxes.
Now, is such a thing available at the township level too?
Michelle, let me verify that. I would be guessing, I'm looking through the presentation here, but I think it's, being that it would be approved by the village, it would only be village. But if we did the 210 option, it would be both, and it would have to be approved by the county, village and township. So let me come back next month. I would have presented last month, but I was at another meeting, so if I'm not here next month, I'll see you in September. But I would like it to, just put it on the agenda for next month to approve the current DDA area as the area that we would be talking about for this approval or denial or vote anyway. And Ellie, you do have the presentation if you could forward it to the board members. It's a short presentation, it's 10 slides, it's very, there's not a lot of reading to it. I read through it fairly quickly. But there are properties obviously downtown that there's some interest in changing owners, upgrading them. We just got a new property owner with the pharmacy. I've talked about putting in the car wash, so I plan on doing that. I think we want to give everything we can to businesses coming into the town to come here and liven up our town. So it's available. Actually, Jared from the county commissioner kind of turned me on to these guys, and they were happy to come in and present to us in May. So I'd like to put that on the agenda for next month and use the DDA boundaries. And I think DDA boundaries should know, I guess the president, goes to the wash basket. I'm not sure if it crosses the bridge or not. It goes to the Historical Society and doesn't go very far east, but essentially the downtown of Bill.
And obviously that would apply to nonprofits like the Historical Society, because they don't pay any taxes anyway, correct?
Correct. 100% of zero is still zero.
It's a mathematical fact.
Yes. So, and then the second, I guess, update I have, and I didn't talk to people about this, but we did start, kind of as DDA, we did start the Central Lake Fireworks Fund. We now have a bank account. I've approached Kip and Ally both on being board members on that. I did get an official head nod from Ally, but Kip said he would think about it. And it is we want to have 4 to 6 board members on that. And that is to kind of basically be the ground rod for any future fireworks funding activities. So we have $100 in our bank account at Oklahoma State Bank right now.
All right.
And hopefully we will get the grassroots effort going through various means. The board member is Brian Rogers, Brian, his brother Neil, Travis, and Scott Beston went over to Bay City it was for an 8-hour safety training. So they did participate in the fireworks this year. We're integral in lighting off. Thanks, Bill, for obviously the fire department's continued help with that. But we will be doing them contingent upon funds, which we will be next year on our own accord with our own people. So that's exciting. We've been training.
Let me ask a question. Is the so the Central Lake Fireworks Club, so their primary fund
Fun.
club, I thought I get to let us.
We're actually going to get a better name for it.
Well, I like it.
Yeah. But
CLFF.
T-shirts, all.
It's great, yeah. But its primary goal is fundraising. Is it also to approach municipalities that have been tasked
It
with
is
promoting?
anywhere we think I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Joe,
go
go ahead.
because I understand there's legislation that encourages townships to fund patriotic displays on the 4th of July. And so might the group also be approaching the township or other municipalities, or perhaps developing petitions or something to be sure that,
No law unturned, let's put it that way, yes,
okay.
absolutely.
got it,
Two primary purposes: for the continued safety of the fireworks
yeah,
and the continued funding of the fireworks, and not just necessarily, one entity or another, but, we've already had people approach us that want to put on a raffle, that want to put on a run, that want to do petition the township, petition the village, that kind of thing. So it's all in the hopper. We just have to have our first meeting and get some numbers to say yes. So planning on having 4 meetings a year and as needed. So that's it.
Any questions from Matt, council members? Thanks. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Jen, too. I know you're behind this too. Let's see, action item. I'll turn this one over to Brian. This is his thing.
Ron Shar helped me out here. Ron came in on like Monday before the 4th of July, and he said everything is going great, best weekend we've ever had. Well, then the bottom fell off Tuesday night of the 4th of July. So what we had was, we just put last names in here to protect the people. But we had one lady, there's a family that's been coming for a lot of years. We had one lady and her boyfriend and the boyfriend's daughter that Shar was out walking the dog, and this lady approached Shar and got in her face, and she had to call Ron, they had to call Scott, and
What time of night was this?
midnight.
No, it started at 10.
Started at 10. Scott, you got down here at midnight or
It was
something?
earlier than that, because I think Scott got there about 10, right?
Yeah.
So it must start around 9.
Ron and Shar suggest that, just like we did last year with this couple, that we ban these people, send a letter, have Ally type up a letter, we'll send it to them certified mail, to ban these people for a year and cancel their reservations for next year, and see how it goes. Just on a side note, when my wife was managing the park 3 years ago, we had troubles with the same family. Usually a lot of alcohol involved, and the family doesn't seem to get along real well at times, and alcohol kind of encourages that. So I would make does anybody have any questions?
I just wanted to confirm that when campers reserve their site, they read the rules and they have to, agree to follow the rules and agree that the consequences of not following the rules are this,
Possible.
this, right,
Dismissal.
right. And also involvement of law enforcement and things like
Absolutely.
that. So they signed on knowing what the rules were and what their expectations for their behavior was. They chose not to follow those rules, and so they must face the consequences.
Right, just like we did last year. Scott. Ron, Shar, you got anything to add? Scott?
No, I would just say it's important that we as a village, or you guys as a council, hold a firm stance on.
But it's important for us to support the park managers and this.
If I get called out, it's pretty much hit rock bottom. And,
Absolutely.
I don't think even when I was there investigating, I don't think they really took it serious. And my comment to them was, you're interfering with the well-being and the safety of the other campers too. So, I just think it's important that the message gets
We get a
across.
point across, yeah. Mike, did you have a question?
Yes.
We should
Hold on, Bill. Bill, one of your bans been effective?
Yes, that's my question.
The only time that we ever banned somebody was last year,
Oh,
for 1 year. So we haven't had an issue with them.
Obviously, we
We'll see
haven't.
next year if they come back. But yeah, the only time we ever banned anybody was last year.
okay.
Bill, what were you gonna say?
I think we should learn from our history. We've had problems with it and tried other than banning or.
Yes.
Doesn't work.
And really all we did was made it worse.
Yep.
So if we're gonna do it, we should do it when the offense occurs and not deviate from it.
Well, those people left that night.
The people that got in.
The people that got into it, they left that night, they was gone by whenever.
And the family members left.
Left in the morning.
The next morning.
Well, unfortunately, law enforcement or the campground managers can't do that. You guys have to do that in your board meetings. So,
Exactly.
we can't do it right away, but this
We
is.
have to make the final decision.
And follow up.
But I don't think it's something we should move down the road until it's,
Not when we had issues with them.
it's
Three
as
or 4 years
serious as it
ago,
was
too.
before. You know, one offense.
That park is too busy to be putting up with.
Right, and they understand that
That's the consequences.
it's the safety of the people that are there other than them.
So I would make a motion to ban, can I give the name?
We did it last year, at the exact same meeting.
I would make a motion to ban Sheer, Carolan, and Carolan from the campground for 1 year. And we will notify them and cancel their reservations out for 2024.
I'll second.
Can they come to a reservation that's made by somebody else?
They better not.
Are they banned? That's what I'm
That's,
asking.
and that's part of the letter, is, you know, if you attempt to.
Don't try to
yeah, don't
bring-
try to fool us.
Exactly.
Don't try to come in out of me.
Yeah.
Let's make a motion, okay, let's vote on this.
Roll call.
Let's do a roll call, thank you, let's do a roll call.
Roll call. Patton,
Yes.
Ring,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yep.
Drake,
Yep.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, let's see, I'll turn it over again to Brian.
Okay, the same family, we had the same issue. Brown and Shar suggest that these two individuals, we send them a warning letter that next year they will be kind of on probation. I asked Brown and Shar if they thought that we should ban these people also, and they said, let's give them another year. So I will make a motion to send a.
Well, I wanna know what they did first, this,
It's all the same issue,
the same crew?
the same crew, it's all the same family.
But
They were not involved in all.
they were there
They were
camping
there.
with this total crap show, you know.
All right,
They're part of it.
were they outside their campers being stupid as well?
No.
So they were guilty by association?
Yes.
And we also had issues with these two.
I want to ban them, but go for it.
It's your call. They don't.
But if your recommendation is to send them a warning,
Yeah,
you would.
I will, I'm sorry, Michelle.
It's zero tolerance. Something takes place next year, they're leaving.
I will support whatever you want. If you want me to make a motion to ban them, I will do it.
No, I think they should be told that.
Okay.
They get a warning, that's it.
I will make a motion to send a warning letter to campers Craven and Reed.
Does the warning letter include the, if you misbehave, you're out?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, you support?
support.
Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Ring,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yeah.
Drake,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Chapman.
Did you say yes or no?
He said no.
Bill's
Motion passes. Action item, adult use marijuana facility permit renewal for Kelly Young Storage Cannabis located at 7957 East State Street, Central Lake, Michigan, at the cost of $5,000. We do this every year. Kelly, do you have anything to add?
Sales were flat this year for July 4th, so that's good.
Okay.
Meaning that we weren't down, but the economy was really tough, so. But the fact that we got new faces coming in, I was pleased, the billboards are working.
Yes, they are.
Good.
Now, Kelly, I understood everything, more or less, except this last page, Tanya Sabota.
Oh, it's just her driver's license, you need a picture of
Pardon
it. It's just a picture of her driver's license. That's it, it's just a
What
picture.
does she have to do with anything?
She's my business partner,
Oh, okay, I didn't see it in there, okay.
yeah.
I'd like to make a motion for an adult use marijuana facility permit Kelly Young's Torch Cannabis located at 7957 East State Street, Central Lake, Michigan, at the cost of
Did you
$5,000.
say to renew?
To renew, thank you. Kip supported. Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yep.
Drake,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Chapman.
All right, action item D, the retirement party. Monica, tell us what's going on.
As Clay Shepherd from the Ellsworth Farmers Exchange, he has us he's been planning it for a while, but he didn't have a firm date until just like a week ago, so here we would bring that up. He just wants us to shut the street down and have some cornhole and hang out, and he paid for the first 150 people to have a drink, so if anybody wants to come.
Break that one down.
I'll make the motion to shut Maple Street down July 22nd from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m.
As approval for the events.
Be 12 a.m., 12 p.m. would be noon.
Right,
12 a.m.
That's what it says on the
Yes, 12 a.m.
Yeah.
12 a.m.
17 to 12 a.m. I'm not saying we're gonna go that late, because we're not. He has his invitations like 3 to 8 p.m., so pretty much we'll be out of there, but Chris wanted to have some extra time. If we have it at 7 a.m., he said we'll be able to clear the vehicles off the street and then going until midnight just in case for cleanup, so.
We have a motion on the floor from Brian. All in favor of closing Maple Street from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. on July 22nd, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Public comment, 3 minutes. Dave.
I'd like to make a comment about what you said after I said my previous comments.
Certainly.
First of all, I wasn't talking about the south side of Brook Street. I was asking about the north side of Brook Street, not against they're directly on the sewer line. Michigan law clearly says that they should be connected at the first reasonable date. You guys, the village council, maybe not you personally, I don't know who was on the council, offered them the chance to go on the line or not go on the line. So I think that obviously it's reasonable to connect. And I don't understand that. And secondly, when you were referring to the south side of the Brook Street along Knowles Creek, you started talking about taxes. I don't know what taxes have to do with sewer bill or connecting with sewer. You don't pay taxes for the sewer. Period. And I still want to know how the heck you lowered the units on that house on Brook Street, behind the old Masonic temple. The ordinance clearly says it shall not be abated, even if you change the usage of it. But you did it anyway, and you seem to be ignoring that, and I don't know why. But I'd still like to know why those houses on the north side of Brook Street, directly on the line that's right behind their properties, are not being connected, haven't been connected for the last 35 years. I don't know, do you guys think that the first reasonable date is 70 years? You've already waited 35, evidently you're wanting another 35 to make it 70 years. And the actual law says it's a threat to our health, it's a threat to our mortality, it's a threat to our groundwater, it's a threat to the lake. And it doesn't seem to make any difference at all to you people. Do you think that you're exempt from obeying state law? I don't understand that. And I don't understand how you lowered her rate on Brook Street behind the Masonic Temple when your own ordinance says it shall not be abated, even if they change the use. I'm done.
Thank you, Dave. Public comment?
I just want to remind everybody about the downtown Central Lake Block Party on July 28th. It'll be a fun family event similar to the birthday party from last year, but this year it's just a downtown Central Lake Block Party, 7 o'clock, Friday, July 28th. So be there, be square. We've got the same bands that played our float in the parade. Yeah, so it'll be fun.
Any other public comment? All right, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Sorry.
All right, all in favor of adjournment? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you all for attending tonight.